I'm testing right now. I'm testing out my buttery voice. Blah blah blah. How about you, Banana?
Yeah, your mom.
Mr. Banana, what do you have to say?
You sound like Cyan.
Citroën.
Well, yes, of course. We both are British noblemen of the highest caliber.
Bum pics on Facebook thinking you're bad, mate. I'll line you for the last one of your birds with a bum.
I don't know about noble or man, but
Jesus Christ. Alright. I've heard enough. Hello, everyone. Go on. Do your little intro.
This wasn't what I thought about intro.
Go on.
Okay, Cyan. Welcome back to this shit show. New and improved, hopefully, with our new formula. So instead of an hour 50, it's gonna be an hour 45, hopefully.
Yeah, something like that. I'm going to dip in and out of different accents as we go along.
Why?
So, I don't know, because my language is a mess. Alright. We're going to go in this order, like on the roster page, left to right. And then, we're going to look at the team page. So we're going to start with the Slurpaffiasse. I think that means slut. Wasn't his name originally like the Slurpaffiasse or something like that? What happened?
It was the rebrand. It's pretty clear.
Okay. I think that, yeah, let's do it like this. Quick test. Yeah, we're still recording. Great stuff. Alright. We're going to take turns so that we don't babble on forever, and then the other guy can add a finishing thought. I've written down some notes so there isn't as much babbling. Alright, let's begin. We have Arkhan and the Slurpaffiasse. Our not reigning champion, but I think he was champion at some point, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I forgot to say already with the babbling. I'm going to mainly judge on the first 3 picks. So in the draft, speed tiers, cores and types, hazard control, momentum, physical, special, attack and defense balance, and like special combos or synergy. Alright. Now we have this Slurpaffiasse, Arkhan, blah blah blah. His first 3 picks were Dragapult, Clefable, and Jirachi, which is pretty defensive. Only 1 offensive mon, and I've done a bit of research, and I think that's not that great. You can do it, but I think generally it's better to draft your offensive core first, like offensive threats first, and then defensive, because usually you draft defensive in response to threatening mons in 8 divisions, but whatever. And the speed tiers are it's okay. It's 142, then it's 103, 100, 100, and then it goes down. So you have a very high speed Diamond in Dragapult, but then it falls off quite harshly, so not the best, but it's okay, I guess. Then you have a fantastic, in my opinion, you have fantastic cores in Fire, Water, Grass. Like these 3 have great synergy typing wise. They cover each other very well. And you also have a Fighting, Dark, Ghost and Psychic core. And then you have Dragon, Fairy, Steel as well. So there are lots of cores, and they harmonize very well in my opinion. So switching is going to be pretty painful. I haven't set a timer. I'm realizing I don't know if I'm within 5 minutes, but I'm just going to hurry. Also, you have good momentum. You have teleports, U-turns, vault switches, so that's great. It's balanced in terms of especially and special and physical defense and offense, but the team itself is pretty defensive. So that's the main criticism I have of this team. This team is rather defensive and slow. There's pretty much only Nihilego and Dragapult as offensive threats. You have some other monsters that can be offensive, like we've seen in the exhibition matches. A lot of setup with Jirachi, Cosmic Power, Stored Power, and like Belly Drum, Chestnut. So you can be offensive with these, but you tend to be more like supported defensive. Like Swampert can be offensive, sure, but generally you're going to use it as a tank. So I think you're going to have problems if Dragapult either doesn't have a great matchup, which doesn't happen that often because, you know, Ghost Dragon, but or if it gets outsped somehow. Yeah. But then again, if the team can wear the opponent down and then Dragapult can just come in and clean, that's gonna be pretty effective if that's the plan you're going for. That's it. Finishing thought?
No, you hit it pretty good. The main criticism I have of this team is the speed tiers. I always think that if you rely on webs for the majority of your team's speed, it's not ideal. Other than that, though, I really like it. You have good hazards as well. I like the hazard. Not perfect, but still pretty good. You have Clef, Jirachi, which are probably gonna. Both of them are at least one of them is gonna come every week, more than likely. And then you have Nihilego and Swampert, and of course webs. The removal
webs is, helps.
Removal is okay. The main thing I don't like is I don't even have a spinner when you rely on webs for your speed.
Yeah, we went on about that last time a lot, and we're going to see it this time as well. I don't know why people. I think it's such an anti-synergy to not have a spinner if you bring webs, because, like, if you want to bring webs, then you're going to be so susceptible to hazards yourself, because otherwise you're going to web it away. So you're really not that flexible.
So overall, I think it's a good team that does have major flaws, but it's not bad by any means. The only other thing, also, we forgot to see users. I like Nihilego but I would have it as attack, and I would have had Jirachi as C-All. I just think not having Jirachi as like C-All is a waste of a C slot, in my opinion.
Is Dragon? Okay, kind of easy cutting, yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's move on. Next we have the San Diego Charizards and Coach Blaze. And we are here. Banana.
Okay. This team, there's things I like, but there's a lot more things I dislike. I like heavily criticized this team in my notes. I really like Naga, Nadell, and Medicham as offensive mons. They're just insane breakers. They can have insane sweeps out of nothing. It's gonna be very hard to find something to really deal with those two. And this is by far my favorite aspect of the team. But that's where like the major positives end for me. It really bothers me that there's no momentum. Where's the momentum? You have U-turn on Moltres, Vaporeon flip turn. Does Naganadel get U-turn? No, right?
Naganadel gets U-turn.
It does? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 3. And I think that's it.
Yep.
Like,
I even forgot
only
about
3
Flygons,
momentum.
but yeah.
On a team where you have Naganadel and Mega Medicham, more specifically Mega Medicham, you want to constantly try getting it in as much as possible to break. And it just really bothers me that there's not that much momentum in this team. And also hazards. What do we have for hazards? Krookodile, Auroras, and I guess Toxic Spikes and Naganadel if you really want to. There's like barely any hazards. If you bring Auroras, what would you usually drop? Because you want to bring your 2 offensive mons, your breakers, and then what? And also, you're fine. The hazard removal as well. We have Moltres, Superior, and I think that's it.
Yep.
I do like Hail on this team. I do think it helps it. I just think this team is very flawed in a lot of ways. And also Gramble doesn't count as a fairy in my books. So yeah, I think I like the idea of the team. It's just there's a lack of so many things that brings it down a lot to me. Those are my main thoughts about this team, honestly. It's good idea on what I think I get what you were trying to do. I just there's so many things that are missing.
I think I've written down the same things. I agree that the hazard control isn't great, and also the momentum really hurts because you have Naganadel and Mega Medicham, which are so offensive but really frail. Yeah, quite frail. So you want to bring those ones in safely, and Naganadel can get out with U-turn, but you have trouble. You have no slow teleport or baton pass. You have only flip turn, U-turn, and then U-turn on Naganadel. But you want to bring in Naganadel, and then the only thing. Also, your cores aren't that great. You mentioned it a bit. So you have like your Grass Fairy Water doesn't have that great synergy. It's a bit electric weak. You don't have a Ghost or Psychic type, and Granbull. I like Granbull, but let's be real, it isn't the best fairy, and doesn't get Wish, so it's even not that great in this composition. And the thing I don't quite agree on is you said you like the idea or you get it. That's actually my main criticism of this team. I think it's going to have success regardless because of the quality of the mons. Like you're going to get kills with Naganadel and Mega Man Disham regardless, and Celesteela is also pretty much good every week. But what's missing is an identity of this team. I think. Yes, you could have done more to make Medicham or Naganadel shine, you know. So there's a bit of a identity crisis. This team has a identity crisis, I think, because there is.
It's like a lot of good mons. Yeah, boom, good. Naganadel, good. Medicham, good. Vaporeon, I think it's really good. Yeah. Moltres, I think it's really good. Celesteela, but there's nothing to glue them together.
Yeah, there's synergy missing, I think. And the hail, it's a bit of hail, and it can catch people off guard because they are busy with these three probably. But
especially with Bale on this team is pretty nice.
So that's nice. But other than that, yeah, I think we talked about it. The users Arctozolt and Superior, this is. I'd say this is kind of controversial. Some people say you would have to, or Superior needs the Z attack because it lacks coverage so hard. It's it has the worst coverage in the game. It gets grass, and that's it. It's crazy. It Dragon Pulse. It gets Dragon Pulse. It doesn't even get hidden power anymore. So some people say you need a Z on it. I think it's kind of wasted, to be honest.
Yeah.
If it can break a team with grass, then it doesn't need grass, and if it can't, then a Z won't really help. So I think it's kind of a waste, in my opinion. And
yeah, I agree with you.
Arctozolt, I think Z all because Z hail probably, so that's cool.
But
then again, doesn't it get Slush Rush? So that's super speed. Yeah.
I think Celestial would have been a much better C user here by far.
Yes, probably. Or even, well,
You don't have many options with this team.
or
in C
even
users,
Moltres.
fair.
Moltres could have been a wild card, you know, Z, Soulbeam or something.
Something like that, yeah. Usually one boots, but in case you want to throw a team off.
So I don't really like this.
In this division, I've noticed it's one of the few divisions that you're not gonna need boots much longer, but we're gonna get to that later in the teams.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder that it's nothing personal, just
Yeah.
we're just basically judging the teams.
I mean, for all we know, you can go undefeated and become champ. I mean, this is just
Yeah.
our opinion. Our opinion isn't law. It's just what we think.
By the criteria we chosen, so whatever. Alright, then let's move on to the Portland Nightshaders and John Jr. That's a cool name, like Portland Nightshaders. We have. Let me pull out my notes. We didn't really say which mons on the teams had. Like, we didn't do a list, but I think, well, you can see.
Oh, well, yeah, it's fine, yeah.
Well, you can see the mons. Alright, the first 3 picks were Curran Black, Aegislash, and Mega Lopunny, which I think are very good first picks. You could argue that, or you could risk picking Aegislash later, but I think he saw TJ draft Tydragon, so that's why he took. It's probably a good idea to draft Aegislash a bit earlier then. And the speed tiers are pretty good, I'd say. 135, 124, 115, and 100 are 4 mons, like 100 and above. Good space between them. 95, 91, 85. So the speed tiers are pretty good, I'd say. The crazy thing is, nowadays, 135 isn't even like top speed. It's like, what's it, like A tier. But not S tier, because there's still stuff like 140, 145, 150, that's crazy. Or 200, I guess. But still pretty good. Then you have a solid Dragon Fairy Steel Core. Like, these two are great. And then Ribombee isn't that defensive or even offensive, but webs are nice, so that's okay. But then you have a pretty good core in. You don't have a psychic type, but you have dark, ghost, and fighting here, which is good. And Grasswater's fire is okay. It's nothing great, but water grass is always good. This team is very offensive. Like, even the defensive mons, team members, mons can be offensive. That was a weird sentence, but. Like, you have Curran Black, you have Lopunny, you have Raikou, you have Grassy Glide, Rillaboom. And as I said, even like Aegislash can be offensive and defensive. Nidoqueen can be offensive or defensive. Same with Galarian Moltres. So this team is very offensive. And it has great momentum, I think. You have U-turn on Lopunny, you have Volt Switch. You have U-turn here, you have U-turn here, I think. So it's pretty good. But you have webs and no spinner, which is frustrating. Webs aren't that important on this team, I think, because the speed tiers are quite good, but still kind of frustrating. The thing is, I think it's an anti-synergy to not have a spinner when you have a webs team, but on the other side, on the other hand, there aren't that many great spinners. So, there's like Dawnfan is okay, and then you have maybe Tsarina, but there aren't, like, all the spinners are kind of trash. Regieleki is very good, Excadrill, but you don't want to bring Rapid Spin on that. There aren't that many great spinners, is what I want to say. And it wouldn't be that bad because this team isn't really hazard weak, except for Kyurem Black, which likes to wear boots, but kinda has to wear boots then. So would be good to be kind of flexible there. And it doesn't have the best defense. There are defensive Mons on here, but they don't really have recovery. You don't have recovery. You have like the aggressive field, okay, but this thing doesn't get roost, irritatingly enough. This can't recover, so I think what would be really good, I think this Kyurem gets roost, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but other than that, I think a Fat Wish user would be really good here. Because none of these Fat Mons, like your defensive answers, don't really have recovery. There are some like rest sleep talk sets, but you know what I mean. Yep, that's it for on my part.
So yeah, this team, this hyper offense, like 1,000,000%. But I don't know if this is like a coin term, but this is like fat hyper offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do think like this team knows what it is. It's pure offense. And everything you said is true. Like you don't have any real defensive mons. That like Aegislash can be defensive, of course. And Kyurem Black if you really wanted to. Seismitoad, I guess.
Like it's
Queen.
fat, but it isn't like a wall or a tank.
I think this team is very similar in the sense of places that it's like it has a lot of things like missing. Well, not as many, but for example, like I think your hazard removal is like horrific. It's bad. Like I don't think you have hazard removal because you only have 2 defoggers.
Yeah.
And then not only is it bad for your sticky web, which I do agree with you also that it's not needed in this team, but you also get rid of potentially of like your terrain for Rillaboom, which I guess isn't that bad because you just said it again when you come back. But it does kind of help with like you know Raikou, Aegislash, Nidoqueen,
That's
just like ground spam and Typhlosion. And I think Galarian Moltres is dog shit. I think that Mon is very bad. I think it's a waste of a Mon, personally. That's just me.
I
don't know if that's like...
Or like drafted it afterwards.
I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I think Galarian Moltres is dog shit at everything it wants to be.
Jesus.
But yeah, overall, I like... This team is like stupid offense. I think this team and the team that follows it, just a sneak peek, I guess, for a few seconds... This team is either gonna 6-0 or get 6-0'd.
Yeah.
That's what this team is.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. So you just bring 6 offensive mons and then click powerful moves and hope your opponent dies before you do. Something like that. Alright. Yeah, Z movers, Z users, I mean. Z attack, Raikou. I can wait. Aegislash. Aegislash can be Z user. So, what is Z all Rillaboom? Is there a combo? I'm not sure.
I was about to ask what the C all Rillaboom do.
I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm not gonna look it up. So, I think this is. Same here. Z attack Raikou is kind of the same thing as with Superior. Not as bad, but Raikou doesn't have. It gets Scald and Shadow Ball, and which is fine for an Electric Mon, but other than that, its coverage isn't great. So this isn't perfect. Oops, whoop. Yeah. But other than that, solid, I'd say. Let's move on.
Yep.
And next we have the Houston Gallades and Coach Shade. We have Hog. Banana.
This team is fucking offensive as shit too. Not as the other one, but those first 3 picks, I'm gonna steal your formula. Specifically those 2, like the Sama, C. I tried my hardest. I promise all of you viewers, I pushed hard to ban this. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it done.
It's kind of crazy that it's still allowed without any restrictions. That's pretty crazy. I think we fucked that up.
But yeah, Salmon Garchomp is just offensive, like physically offensive is just like super scary. I think your Fairy Dragon Steel Core, I really, really like it. I think it's one of the best out there, in my opinion. And I also like Feeny on these two. Sorry. For Misty Terrain, that weakens dragon moves, right? Or is that...
No, it's... well, you can't use status moves.
Oh, so what am I thinking of then?
I'm not sure if it does that too. I'm going to look it up. Let's keep talking.
Yeah, we'll cut this. No, we'll cut this. Because I already went too off topic.
So?
Oh, I thought you were gonna look it up first.
I am looking up, but I thought you were going to keep talking.
No, I wasn't joking about cutting.
Okay. Well, I'm going to forget for sure, so have fun with this. Where does it say?
I guess I'll plug in some. What should I plug in to like lower PSL ratings?
Plug your Twitter account.
No.
Okay.
So while Lorz does that, as I was saying, I think physically offensive, this team is really, really good. You have Sama, Garchomp, and then Weavile too. But I think that's like where the positives end for me, because again, the whole momentum thing. What's your momentum? You have Teleport Arcanine, Baton Pass, Umbreon, which already has really bad 4-move syndrome. And then is that it? I guess Electabuzz. If you bring Electabuzz, you have Volt Switch. I think that's it. I don't think Sigilyph.
Sigilyph gets huge, I think.
No, it doesn't.
What? No,
Yeah, it doesn't. So yeah, there was momentum barely exists here. And I think it's already hard because I guess it's not that. I think slotting Teleport and Baton Pass on Arcanine and Umbreon is going to be difficult. Because you already, like, especially Umbreon, like, you already want to bring Wish, you want to bring Protect, you want to bring maybe Toxic, maybe Heal Bell, you want at least one offensive move. I don't know. I think your momentum is one of the worst in the draft.
Sorry.
And also your hazards. You have Stealth Rock Garchomp. You have Stealth Rock Regirock. I'm sure you noticed I stopped because that's it. And I think that's also very, very bad. You're having Rocks on Chomp, which I guess isn't the worst, but you really want to bring like your Swords Dance with your Scale Shot, Earthquake coverage. It's gonna be really hard to fit. And then a Regirock, I guess it's a very reliable stealth blocker, but that's it. Your hazard control, you have Defog. Again, you've noticed I stopped. That's it.
That's clever.
I think this is like John Jr.'s team, but worse.
Ooh.
Because it's the same idea of like offense, but you don't really have. You have even less things. Like you don't have a special. I guess you can maybe. I guess you could argue maybe Mega Venusaur could be a breaker. I don't think it is, but other than that,
it isn't.
Yeah.
Let me.
And your special offense. What's your I guess Feeny, which. Yeah, I don't know. I feel this team started off really good, and then it like not slowly. It took like a harsh like down peak. These mons, I think all of these mons, except Electabuzz, are like decent at worst, but they just don't blend. I really like the first three. As synergy wise, and that's where the synergy stops to me. It's just a lot. It's a lot missing. You don't have hazards. You don't have hazard removal. You don't have momentum. And yeah, I just don't think this team is very good. Sorry, Shade, don't ban me.
I think you are almost correct. I think the points you mentioned are true. I just think that Summer Center Crown is so busted that you're going to, unless you're Ian, you're going to. Oh wait, no wait, he Dragapult. It was he drafted Dragapult. My bad. So, Summer Center is so busted that you're going to win just a couple of matches just because of that. And I think you could have went for a little more offensive synergy. Like the only thing, or there aren't a lot of mons that can stop Summer Center. Mainly it's like water plus something. So maybe don't go for a defensive grass type and a Electabuzz, but maybe a more like get rid of those mons for Zamazenta, and then it works better. Because like for example Slowbro can tank Garchomp and Zamazenta pretty well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a bulky water can really mess up this team. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Let's talk about Z users. Z all top Tapu Fini. Not sure what if there's a synergy. And Z attack Weavile is, can Garchomp be?
No,
probably not. Yeah, all right.
I guess that's as best as you could do with C users in your team.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You're a coward, so no C Electabuzz, but...
Okay. Let's move on. Philadelphia Flygons and Tjthings squad. So, let's talk about it. The first 3 picks were Mega Gallade, Hydreigon, and Slowbro, which is good, I think. I think Mega Gallade is very good, and Hydreigon isn't fantastic. I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it's in that sense it's kind of balanced. It isn't really overpowered, but isn't bad. It just okay. It's pretty good. And then Slowbro is one of those mons where it's okay to draft it in your first 3, because sometimes it's even gone around 2, like on the way back, because it's such a good mon. So these 3 are pretty solid, I say. Then we come to probably the worst part of this team. Funny enough, not even the worst speed tiers of the division, but still its worst point, I think. Because we have 110, 108, and then 98, and then it goes downwards, which is very slow. And we've seen this with other teams before, and other teams to come. I think it's very bad to have your star of the team, your main mon, in this case like Mega Gallade. You should have a mon, or at least one mon, that outspeeds mons that outspeed Mega Gallade. So if your fastest mon is Mega Gallade, then everything above 110 can just prevent it pretty much. So I think you should have at least one mon that's faster than mons that outspeed Mega Gallade, you know? At least have like a 112 mon. But
yeah,
you know, because you just get revenge on. Then you have every core here, which is pretty painful. Like in general, you have 12 mons, and you could argue that a lot of Vulpix is, you know, not a pick, but it's pretty painful to prep for. It's also not an easy team to use, therefore, because you have to decide which mons to bring. But it's still very versatile. It's also pretty offensive. Not that it's not like hyper offense, but because you have so many mods, it's offensive in a way that it's very versatile. Like Drapion is Drapion. No, I'm not gonna make point across. Yeah, it's versatile. That's why it's difficult to prepare for it defensively. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and the momentum is solid. You have U-turn here, teleport there. I think Porygon gets teleport. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it does.
Then you have U-turn here, Volt Switch here, and I don't think.
Does Arctivish get flip turn?
Probably.
I don't think so, right?
God damn, I hate flip turn. Arcto Wish flip. No, it doesn't. Yeah, so, and also, I can't believe it, you have sticky webs, which helps with the speed tiers, and you have a spinner, a pretty good one too. So, bravo for that. But yeah, I think that's, and you even have T spikes with, you know, Ogre, Drapion. And you have Default here, you have a spinner here, so I'd say Hazard Control is solid.
Hydreigon gets D5.
Yeah, but why would you?
Yeah, you know, I like bulky Hydreigon.
So now you have like Vulpix and Arctovish, and you know, I have written down 2 question marks in my notes. I don't know what kind of secret hidden strat there is with Arctovish. I think it's, or I have been told that it's just garbage. But it gets, I don't know, Aurora Veil and Endure. No, I don't know. So, yeah. It gets Fish's Rend, and it gets, what's here, Slush Rush, but it has 55 speed and no offensive stat. Like, it's kind of weak. So I'm curious to see what this is for, like distraction, or I don't know. Yeah, those are my thoughts. What do you think?
Your last point was something one of my main criticisms of the team. I think Hail is useless in this team. Get rid of it. Drop both of them, and like, I don't know how much Arctovish is, and but I would just drop Vulpix and Arctovish and draft something else. Maybe move around. But yeah, what you said too about the speed to your no elite speed, that's what I have written down. You hit it spot on. I hate this team's speed. Even though you have webs, again, what I mentioned earlier, if you like rely for your whole team or the majority of your team's speed on webs, I think it's bad. I have written, the first thing I have written down in all caps and an exclamation mark is momentum. There's finally momentum. None of these teams. I physically started shaking and crying when I saw that he had a rapid spinner with sticky web. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Good job.
But yeah, overall I don't have much to add except that, like, drop Vulpix and Arctovish. You don't need it. Drop literally anything else.
I mean, you gave 5 points for both of those, so I don't know. If
Arctovish is 4?
Yeah.
I don't know. Get something else that is.
Well, let's move on to Z users then, because there's Z all Arctovish, and now I'm really curious what has this man found a secret, hidden, extremely viable use for Z all Arctovish? And I mean, I'm looking at status moves it gets, and I don't think I've ever seen a mod with as few status moves. So I don't know. Iron defense. I'm kind of confused, to be really honest. So I'm kind of excited to see what this is for. Z attack Hydreigon is pretty obvious, I'd say. That makes sense.
By the way, let me check real quick. Yeah. What the fuck? Oh my god. Fish's Rend, if you're faster, does more than Hydro Vortex Fish's Rend.
So Okay.
No, Fish's Rent does more than
Yeah, I know.
Steam Move. So I really don't understand.
Well, I guess you go Z, Hail, Fish's Rent.
I don't know. It hurts my brain.
But it has like 90 attack. What does the other fish? Well, I guess Dracovish 2 only has 90 attack. I just realized that Dracovish also has trash stats. I don't know. Well, I guess you go Z Hail, Fish's Rent with Arctovish, and then watch your opponent just cry and shit themselves at the same time. Piss and come a little, and then you win. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for Arctovish. Let's go to the Bulky Dragons and coach DJS, which I gotta say, I really like the logo. I think this is very cute and just a pretty logo. Yeah. Banana.
My first sentence that I have in my notes are, "What the fuck are these speed tiers?" Because it hurts. You have elite speed, good. You have something kind of in the middle with Cinderace at 119, good. And then you go all the way to Zapdos, I think, right?
Yeah. 30.
Why?
19, 100.
Why? What happened to the middle? What's going on? Why? You don't even have webs. What's going on here, man? I'm sorry. I'm getting a little out of control. It's just, why? Like,
calm down, Banana.
It bothers me so much because I like this team. I like good parts of this team. I really like. I love Spectre, especially with Z. Cinderace is good with Libero. No U-turn is Pepega as a complex, but whatever. Mawile is very good. Zapdos is very good. I love Deoxys defense. But like, what? Why is Dracovish here? Why?
True.
Why is Scrafty here? Amogus, it's good.
Amogus.
But it's like,
there's an imposter right there.
It bothers me because I want to like it. I really like how it starts off. It's just that it feels like a lot is missing. I don't know. There's like your momentum. You have U-turn Zapdos. You have teleport on Deoxys. You have U-turn on Cinder. Psych. You don't have U-turn on Cinderace. So that's all your momentum, I think.
Wait, you can have U-turn, but you can't have U-turn and protein. Not protein, but it's cannot use U-turn and Libero together. So you can.
Yeah, but at that point, if you're not using, but at that point, if you're using U-turn on Cinderace and Blaze, why did you draft that? I don't know. I think that's counterintuitive. If you do that, I'm not counting it.
Okay.
So yeah, like hazards, you have Mawile, which you're wasting a move slot in my opinion. If you're doing that with Mega Mawile, Deoxys reliable, and then Sandslash, which I think Sandslash is underrated, but that's it.
I think it's accurately rated.
You have your hazard control is Defog, Zapdos, and Sandslash again, Rapid Spin.
Nice.
That's it. So yeah, that's like this team pisses me off so much because I want to like it. I really do. It's just you decided to throw a bunch of good mons with no momentum, and the thing is, unlike other teams that we mentioned earlier that have similar problems, like Shade that has Samacenta, or John Jr. that just has like really good like offense overall. I don't think you have any broken mons, which is what I feel would have helped your team not suffer as much from what's missing. But I don't think any of these mons are broken. I think they're very good. I think Mawile is very, very good. I think Cinderace is very, very good too. It's just that there's nothing that at least somewhat patches the holes that this team is missing. And yeah, that's. I think I've ranted long enough about this team.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I think you're right in that it doesn't have a clear identity. It's just same thing I said earlier. You have like single pieces. Like for example, I would have drafted a faster, solid fighting type with what's it called? Horsey, Spectria, not Scrafty. I would have maybe drafted another regenerated user, or get something that works better with I guess there's a bit of synergy that there's some fire. Mega Walrite struggles with fire types, and then you have Dracovish. But you know what I mean. There are you've already said it. This team doesn't have a very clear identity, and that's what hurts it. Yeah, in my opinion.
Please, drop Dracovish, drop Scrafty, drop Amogus, and fix your team. I'm begging you, please. Yes, right. Thank you. See users.
Yeah.
See attack texture, perfect, amazing mon. Why?
The all Dracovish.
Why? Does it get rain? No, sandstorm? No, right?
Well, probably. Let's look it up. It gets rain dance, but it does. Well, rain dance is kind of useless.
Propitious friend, I guess, but I don't know. Please.
It doesn't get sandstorm, so yeah. Why the Dracovish?
I guess there's not much else you could do, but I don't know. This hurts my heart.
I think no, for real. Why the all? Because it doesn't get.
I mean, what else would you give it to Zapdos? I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess not every Z all has a status move to abuse. It's all
but Zapdos would get C Rain Dance, so +1, 100% accurate Hurricane and Thunder. That would have been better.
Well, all right. Let's move on to.
Yes, please. My heart blood pressure.
Next up, we have Dr. Pelipepper, and Maxee here, and
I'm sorry. I know you're up next. I have to do it. I have the obligatory round 1 Mega Altaria. Why? Why?
What is it? It's Pelipepper in English as well. Yeah, this team. Well, let's make it chronological. I think the first 3 picks are weird. It's Mega Altaria, Mew, Ferrothorn, I think it was. So Mew is fine. Mew is really controversial. Some people hate it, some like it. I think it's just it's what would you call it? Exhaustingly boring. I don't know. I think it's just it oozes boredom. Well, that's harsh, but I don't know. I don't like it. The first round Mega Altaria is of course what was the gossip of the draft for a while. Well, if you really like Amon, there was there was a time when I drafted Chansey first turn because I couldn't live without it.
How'd that go?
Well, I was about to say, granted, I wasn't that great of a battler back then, but I had some success. So but that isn't even the worst thing. I think the worst thing about this team is the speed tiers, and there is no putting it gently. Your fastest mon is at 100 speed, and that's bad. You don't even. I'm pretty sure you don't even have webs because what's it called? Vivillon. Let's look it up so I'm not wrong. Yeah, you don't even have webs. So you have 100 as your fastest mon. That's bad. And no webs. even worse. And then you have a weird cluster of like 93, 91, 89, 88. Yeah, that's pretty weird. I think you just didn't pay any attention to speed tiers. So yeah. It's not even a trick room team. It's just a clump of 5 mons from 100 to 88. Yeah. Your cores are pretty good, I'd say. So you have some Dragon Fairy Seal, you have Toxapex, which is annoying. But you have no fighting type, and I think that's going to hurt you, because the second you're going to face like Licky or Blissey, yeah, you're going to have a problem. I think fighting types, not having a fighting type, a fighting stab, is one of the like it's a rookie mistake in my opinion, because fat normal types are just going to eat all of your attacks. And you're not very specially offensive. Like, you have good physical attackers. You have Setup and you have Landro, you have these two, Sand, but you don't have a lot of special pressure. Like,
Your highest special attacker is Mega Altaria at 110.
yeah, and then you have Landro Steer, and then you have Quiver Dance. So let's you have Mew, of course, but you know, even that's 100. So yeah, Oricorio is fun, and I really like its design, but
I love Oricorio. It's underrated. Don't you dare say it's bad. It's an underrated one.
it's not bad. It's trash. So but the design is cool.
I cannot. It's
Come
a good
on.
one.
All right.
It's good. It's good.
Sure. All right.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is. Well, there's no right or wrong. I don't know if this will be a popular opinion per se. I'm sorry. I promise you, I don't mean any disrespect. You seem like a chill person. I think this is the worst team in the division. It's
Possibly.
It's a combination of what we've seen before, which is a clusterfuck of things. But again, you don't have anything broken. Why do you have 3 flying types, 4 before you Mega Evolve Altaria? Why do you have Landers in this team? I don't get it. Why do you have Vivillon on this team? I don't get it.
It's cute.
Sand, yeah, but I just like, it doesn't fit the team. Like, I like Sand here, especially with Ferrothorn. What's the point of Landers? It confuses me, and I don't know. This team, you have Hazards. That's his first. You have good Hazards at that.
But you don't have great momentum. Forgot to say that.
Yeah, what do you have for momentum? You have U-turn Mew,
U-turn
Landorus, which you won't have for long when you drop it when you realize it's useless on this team.
That's Altaria.
Vivillon might. I know where Oricorio gets U-turn.
Altaria doesn't get U-turn, so yeah.
Yeah, this team, it's a combination again of what I said earlier about other teams having a clusterfuck of things, no glue, nothing broken, but even worse. I feel like I'm being too much of a dickhead. I'm sorry, but
I think it's also not really threatening enough, like offensively. Again, you have like okay attack. You have Exotrill and Tyrant. Like, these 3 are physically offensive, but then again they do the same attacks, like Earthquake, Rock Slide, Iron Head, Crunch. You know, so there isn't much diversity as well. And then you have Mew, which is just like a clusterfuck of things. And but then, yeah, like offensively you're not very threatening.
I think you can definitely cheese your way to many wins, because I think you can do like a pseudo stall team with like Gofagrigas, Toxapex, Ferrothorn. That's like very annoying, and then if you put Mew as like a setup stored power thing. But I don't know. This team is lacking.
You could say it is what's it called? You know, versatile, because Torrenta can do a lot of things. This has a lot of sets. Despite the meme that has been posted today in general. This obviously Jack of all trades, and then this also has a lot of sets, so I guess you have versatility. I'm not sure if it's the worst team, but yeah, it's not the best. Z, all Landorus T and Extra, that makes sense. Yeah. Not much to add to that. Let's move on then to Flight Club. Cats Rule the Dumb. Right here is the coach. I gotta
The
say,
best logo.
yeah, I think he drafted, he or she, I don't know, drafted in that style as well. Like always doing weird pixel art. I think it's delightful. Thanks for that. Alright. Banana, take it away. That was giga gay, sorry about that. Okay.
The offense on this team is so good. I really like it. It's not even sorry. It's not even because all of your moms I meant
All of
mods.
them. Jesus. Okay. Time to go to bed.
It's not even because most of your mons are offensive. It's just that Mega Blaziken, Tornadus T, and Kyurem can both be crazy threats, especially or physically offensive, that I feel prepping for this team is going to be a nightmare. What is Mega Blaziken going to bring? What is Tornadus T going to bring? What is Kyurem going to bring every week? Because it can do, like, I guess Kyurem not so much physically, but it can. That's the thing. And Tornadus and Mega Blaziken can absolutely be mixed, or either or. Are they better at one than the other? Of course. But they're still really, really good at the other one.
I mean, Kyurem, sorry to throw that in, but Kyurem still gets like 130 attack and his Dragon Dance, so just,
yeah, exactly.
Just
something that's often overlooked.
Yeah.
And then you also have Sylveon, which it's not a breaker, but it can still be very good. There's been plenty of Sylveon sweeps before. And even your defense, like Slowbro is very good. Registeel as a wall is very good. It kills all your momentum, and that's pretty much it when it comes to like your actual, I guess, Rhyperior too, and Alolan Persian. But Alolan Persian's kind of funky in that department. I just feel like those two are enough. Like, I feel you could bring your first 6 mons every week and win the league. Honestly, I genuinely believe you can bring the first 6 mons and win the league.
That's probably, yeah.
And like, even though you're missing some things like hazards, you have Registeel, you have Rhyperior. I think you're also missing hazard control. Well, I guess it's okay. Like Tornadus, Kyurem gets defog, right? Yeah. And the Decidueye, it's not the worst. I feel like this team is definitely lacking on things like momentum as well. But I just think like those first 6 mons together are so good.
Yeah.
That it like really elevates the team. Like you can if you like erase the bottom half of your draft, which basically you have 3 mons that don't exist, like Tauros, Pikachu, Illumise.
Hey, Tauros is very good, very underrated. No, for real, Tauros is a great one.
But yeah, I think like this team is definitely missing a lot of things, like previous teams we mentioned. But I feel like unlike those other teams, I feel like the offensive and defensive synergy overall combined is just so good. I think this is my favorite team just because of the first 6 months.
I'd have to agree that it's very good, and Mega Blaziken is one of the best mons, like offensively, in this season. Like Zamazenta and Mega Blaziken, those are probably the best 2 mons you could have. And I still think that overall Tornadus Theron is the best mon to draft because it's the most versatile mon in draft. I think it's like in a sense even more versatile than Mew, because Mew is well, let's not get into that too long. But you have fantastic cores. You have like this is disgusting. It's giga fat. And you have a Wisher passer. You have momentum. Like you have. Does Sylveon get teleport? I'm not sure.
No, but it gets baton pass.
Ah yes, yeah. So a lot of momentum. I think you mentioned pretty much everything.
Yeah, this team.
This is what
lacks.
Like these 6.
Yeah.
Are crazy together.
It lacks on a lot of in a few key departments, but it doesn't matter when you bring those first 6 every week.
I think it's funny how you went from Decidueye 11 points, then you drafted Pikachu for 1, then Tauros for 5, then Illumise for 1, and then Raikou for 8. Like, that's kind of fun.
I genuinely am curious. Please, if you see this video, comment or DM me or let everyone know why Pikachu then and there. That's pretty funny, but I know, you know what? They knew. They knew that it doesn't matter when they pick Pikachu because they got their team settled in the first 6 picks. So I'm like fucking like drooling over this team. I think it's very, very good. Like, I would love to have this team.
It looks fun, that's for sure. Z-All is alone in Persian, and I forgot. There's something, but I forgot.
Z parting shot.
Yeah, Z parting shot, right. And Z attack Kyurem, yeah. Can this be Z?
No.
Okay, yeah. So this makes sense. You could even put Z on Sloping, but...
Yeah, that could have been something. Z... I'm sure you could see something for support, but Persian isn't bad by any means.
Or on Rhyperior. But yeah, that's this makes sense. Let's move on because we're I don't think we paid attention to the 5.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Texas Raikous and Coach Bash. Oh, that's the wrong thing. All right. And first up, I really like this team just from the first glance of it. You have Shaymin Sky, Urshifu, Single Strike, and Heatran. I don't personally like these two, but it's so strong. So you have this core, like these two are fantastic together. These are like, it doesn't get a lot perfecter than that. That was terrible English. It's really good together. And then you have Melodic, which is a bitch, but whatever. Then this thing is really ugly but extremely good, and then you have like Fairy Dragon Steel, and again you could bring these 6 and be good probably. And then you have Chansey, of course, which is the best mon in the game. And Electros, I love Electros, and I should draft them more often. But it's like I don't get to because usually you go for a more offensive, faster electric, but still defensive or like a versatile Jesus, I need to go to sleep. A versatile and more defensive electric mon like Electros is really useful, and I love it. And then and then you have Dodler, which is fantastic. It's just you give it Eviolite, and then you spoiler Iron Defense, Calm Mind, and Storm Power, and then again your opponent cries and pisses in the pants. Also Sticky Webs, plus a Rapid Spinner. Rapid Spin plus Webs. So I think, and of course I love Shaymin Sky. I drafted it as well. So this might be my favorite team, even though these 3 are.
It's definitely up there for me as well.
Sympathetic. Yeah. So and you have. I guess there are some weaknesses for sure, like momentum, and your speed tiers are okay. Like Shyman has a great speed tier, but not if it's your fastest mon. So it's like okay. Again, my point stands. You should have a mon that. You should have like a 145 or higher mon, because if Shyman at 127 is your fastest, then your opponent, if your opponent has a 145, it can go. It doesn't have to go timid or jolly, like speed boosting. It can just go like your opponent's Mega Beedrill can go adamant now, because you don't have a faster mon than Shyman. So that's bad, but I kind of don't want to shit on this team because I just like it. I like the mons on it. Yeah. Your thoughts?
I think you hit it pretty spot on too. I think it's another case like the previous team. I like the previous team more personally, but in terms of like the best teams out there, I think this is like top 3 probably. Even though it does suffer a lot from the momentum issue, which I think it's his biggest weakness. I think if you drop like, I'm sorry, Lorz, but like Chansey.
Ah!
I think if you drop Chansey.
You don't. No idea what you're talking about.
And get something else with momentum. Megalodios is interesting in this team. I don't know if this is like a hot take, but I think dropping like Megalodios 2 for something as strong with momentum, I feel like
I don't know if
would
you
make
get
this
something
team.
at this point.
What?
I don't think you like after the draft you can get Latios at 17 instead of Mega Latios, but I don't know.
Yeah, like if you drop that for like maybe if there's still anything available like at that level, that's good, really good. With momentum, I feel this team would be the best in the league. I mean, not the division, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. You hit everything pretty spot on. It's a really good team.
Yeah, speed and yeah, this kind of makes me a bit angry. Like speed and momentum is kind of whack, but other than Z-All, Shyman Sky, of course, and the attack. Wait, that she filled single strike.
Shaman Sky can be Sion.
Yeah. It can't use Seed Flower. That's the Seed Flare. That's the only thing. But wait a second. Okay, have I seen this before? Okay. Yeah, sure. No, Z attack Urshifu Single Strike.
I think C attack would have been better on Heatran, but I think C attack on Urshifu's bad personally.
I guess there isn't much alternative if you look at the rest of it.
Heatran. I think Heatran is very, very good for like Solar Beam and Earth Power 2, Sunny Day. I would not have C on Urshifu.
Alright, let's move on because yeah, sorry. Because this is again way too long. Getting way too long. So to cut you off there. As next up we have Seattle Swellows and Coach Sly, veteran coach. Well, Shade as well, but yeah, whatever. we did mention that before. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Right off the bat, those first 3 picks are so good. I'm a huge fan. Very, very offensive team again. But, tears in my eyes, you have defensive mons with an offensive start to the team. I cannot fucking believe my eyes. An actual team that has broken offensive mons that has walls. I love it. But for real, yeah, I think this team is very, very, very good. Base Cosmoem pick. I'm not sure what Hippopotamus is doing here. I would, even though I think they're both very based mons, I would drop Hippopotas and Cosmoem for almost anything. But other than that, I really, really like this team. You have Darkrai, Mega Diancie, Victini as like your offensive core, which is disgusting. Then you have really good walls in Corviknight, Blissey. Rotom Wash is like a nice glue to this. Dragalge is very underrated. Buzzwole is very underrated in my opinion. Glaceon's vibing. Your momentum is, I think, okay. You have Victini, Rotom, Corviknight, Dragalge, I guess Glaceon, and Cosmoem. But overall, I think this is like, again, one of the top teams. I can see this being the best team, honestly. The only thing I would fix is your momentum a little bit. But other than that, I really, really like the team. Oh, you also have... Never mind, you have Teleport on Blissey. But, yes, I think this team is probably the best in the division, quite frankly.
Yeah, this is definitely up there. I mean, it's Sly. Sly knows how to draft. I think he has a crazy team every draft. Every season, I mean. As you said, the first three are just... again, this is a team... I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Like, you could bring the first 6 and win like 90% of your matches.
Yep.
Who needs a defensive core if you just have Corviknight and Blissey for real? And then another thing I love is when coaches use their like find like gems or really good mons for the teams in the low brackets. Like they're it's really lawless land out in the 1 point category, but like Hippopotas kind of fits in this team. And for 1 point, like that's a gem right there. And then Glaceon for 2, like you squeezed a lot of value out of 4 points. So I really like that. Yeah, I think this is. I'm glad this isn't in my division because this team is kinda. Yeah, it sucks to play against this. Rotom Wash, Corviknight, Blissey, and then you have so much momentum and fatness to bring in your Darkrai, Mega Diancie, Victini, even Buzzwole. I mean, I guess even though I love the mon itself, but I'm just not a fan of it in drafting, is Dragalge. It still has its place on this team. It's just personal taste. I just don't like it in draft in general. Yeah.
The only thing I just noticed.
I think slow dragons are generally kind of bad because it can't be that defensive because it's only specially defensive. It just gets whopped by Earthquake, and if you have a slow dragon, then it's just gonna get blasted by a fast dragon, just like in general. But your point, sorry.
No, I was gonna say the only thing is that you've mentioned a lot in other teams. Your elite speed, Darkrai's elite speed, or as your elite speed mon is not the best.
Yeah,
it's not bad, of course. But what do you hit?
Yeah, it's pretty much the rinse and repeat my argument from last team. Beedrill can go adamant now.
Yeah,
for example,
383 is not like that good if that's your elite speed.
Yep, I think. But we have Z all Victini, that's great, and Z attack Buzzwole. Yep, sure. This is one of my favorite teams for sure.
I think this is. I think you could make a big argument that this is the best team. I think it's definitely there. Minimum top 2.
Let's look at it in the end, but it could be next up we have Cyan, Chimera. I always in my head is always right, but when I speak out loud, and the
Mr. Rigged himself,
the owner of the league with the Athens Aegislash. Alright, and we take it away. Oh wait, it's my turn?
Yeah, I just did the last one.
Sorry. Alright. Your first 3 picks are Blaziken, Tapu Koko, and Mega Aerodactyl, which, funny enough, weren't my first picks, but Blaziken was my second pick, and I also drafted Mega Aerodactyl. So, and I traded Jellicent, so now we have 3 of the same ones. So crazy, we're like twins. Very fast, very offensive. Blaziken, Tapu Koko, and Mega Aerodactyl. So this is like right off the bat, speed tier wise, better than most of the draft, just because how fast it is. And Blaziken is only 80, but you know, speed boost. And then you have Zarude at 105, and then it drops down. You have great momentum, like really great momentum. You have U-turn here, U-turn and Volt Switch. Probably U-turn, 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 and this probably is it? No, wait, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but still, fantastic momentum. You have pretty good removal. So you have Defog and Defog. I guess the same thing as before. You have Defog on your you have no spinner and your terrain, but it's not that important because when it comes in, it just sets it again. I'm really interested in Zarude because I thought of drafting it because you don't see it anywhere. It's just kind of already a forgotten mon, I think. But yeah, let's see. I'm excited to see how it does. Yeah, not gonna lie, I'm kind of drained. So hazards are looking fine as well. You have stealth rocks. That's pretty much it. Yeah, but I think these 3 together are going to be really threatening. This is like a setup beast. You never know what this thing is going to do. I guess what I'm noticing is that you are a bit specially, like, offensively weak. You're kind of leaning to the physical side with Blaziken, Mega Aerodactyl, Zarude, Scizor. Those are like Reggie Ice only has 100, and then you have Necrozma and Tapu Koko at 95, so you could be a bit more like a special breaker, would maybe help this team. And your team isn't that defensive. Like, looking at special defense, your highest, let's I just noticed your highest special defense is at 105, so I think...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Look one under.
Ah, lol, I thought... Well, okay, true. I take that bet.
I get what you mean, though.
Yeah.
You're not bringing Reggie Ice every week.
No. Alright, your thoughts?
I hate to say it, but it's one of the better teams. It's really, really good. I think, even though it does slack a bit on the special defensive side, like you said, I think Audino is good enough for that. Also Jellicent. But yeah, I feel the offensive pressure of this team is definitely what's going to carry it. But it definitely has like a good defensive presence too. I really like the momentum. Very, very good momentum in my opinion. And yeah, overall, I don't really have much to add. Except, yeah, your hazard removal is trash. But other than that, well, I guess 3 Defoggers. Well, 4. But when are you really bringing Defog on Aerodactyl? And Coco?
You don't.
Yeah. Gligar is a very reliable defogger. Scizor, it can be a reliable defogger, but it's rare that you really want to bring defog on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my part. I think it's one of the best teams in the league as well. God damn it, division. That division.
I also forgot to say like half an hour ago that like the field, what's the fairy field, you know, what's it called?
Fairy terrain?
Yeah, does reduce the dragon attacks 50%. Forgot to say that half an hour ago. Yeah. Z all Tapu Koko. Yep. Z attack no crossbar. Yep. I guess you could maybe make it the root, but it makes sense. Yeah. Sure. Anything to add? Then let's move on to the last team. It's getting kind of late over here, but let's power through the last team with Elan and Grace. We have the dynamic Dittos and TimesOver. Yeah, take it away this time for real. Good point.
No, but for real, a very solid team. Again, I really like the offensive presence here. Landers, Mega Scizor, Como, even Primarina. Just I feel it's a very, very good balance of special and physical offense. Especially Como, you can honestly run both. And same with Landers. I feel most people forget that Landers' attack is higher than its special attack.
Yeah, but you don't get the ability buff on most attacks, so yeah.
But
sorry to be a smart ass.
Defensively, your only real wall is nobody. I guess Primarina.
Licky.
Licky too. I forgot. I fucking love Licky. It's one of my favorite mons.
It's becoming one of my probably my most hated mon to face. I think it's so trash. I hate it.
It's very underrated.
It's very
I don't really understand Thwacky here. I'm trying to see why. I guess for Magnezone, but I think Magnezone is useless without hidden power. It's not useless. I just think it's not that good without hidden power. But other than that, I mean, I guess the other small thing is your elite speed being Talonflame. Again, it's not that the speed is bad; it's that it's your fastest.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, your hazards are okay. Actually, they're kind of, I guess, 3 rockers. But when do you really want to bring Stealth Rock on Landorus? And I guess Assel for that matter. Toxic Spikes are nice. Your hazard removal is, I am gonna say it's bad. I think it's very bad.
Defog and Mega Scizor, I think that's...
And Talonflame, and I think
Landorus.
You never want to bring it. I guess I honestly feel your most reliable defogger is Talonflame, more than Mega Scizor. Because you really want to bring, your SD Scizor with your coverage. But overall, I still really like this team. It looks like a very fun team. But it does have those weaknesses. I feel like if you drop those last 3 mons and get a spinner, I feel it would be a much better team. And maybe, I guess momentum is okay. You have U-turn, flip turn, U-turn. So it's not bad. But yeah, I feel if you drop those last 3 mons and get a spinner, I feel it would make the team a lot better.
Yeah. I think this is just a good team. I agree on the speed. Don't need to make that point again. 126 fastest isn't fantastic, but it's okay, I guess. Then you have, it's just good in pretty much every aspect. It's not fantastic or insane, but just good. I hate Licky Licky, and I hate you for drafting it. It can lick my ass.
Whoa.
And then you have Thwackey, which is kind of cool. You can just slap a choice band on it and grassy glider around. And yeah, Ditto is pretty cool as well. There's another coach. Wait, no, I think this is. Wait, did I battle him? I think I battled him in an exhibition match. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I battled him in an exhibition match, and he did some trades, I think. But this is a disgusting hidden. Sorry to reveal the tag, I guess, but this is a disgusting bait because you throw everything at Licky Licky because it's so fat, and even if you have a fighting type, oftentimes you can just survive that. And I think it gets counter, I think. So you set up on it and you think you're very smart, and you finally kill that fucking thing with your setup or your strongest mon, I guess. And then just Ditto comes in. You think you're relieved to finally see it gone, but no, Ditto comes in, takes your stats, then just runs away with the match. So this is I already said it in the the talk afterwards. This is an S tier bait, this combination. And then I think Azelf is just really good, just a really good mon, and I don't see drafted enough. Really versatile. And Primarina gets live due. I didn't know about live due. They keeps they keep huh? Their keep. No, I can't speak. I keep encountering moves I didn't know about. Like now I know that there is flip turn. Then there's live due, and so many mons get it. So Primarina can you can run a defensive Primarina, still be offensive, like just naturally, and heal with life due, like a quarter for your of your health. So that's pretty good. Let's look at Zimon's Z-All Azelf, which is nice. And then Z-Attack Como, which is also nice. You could argue that, like, I think this is very good because it gets really good coverage, and then this is also pretty good. You could maybe put it on like these two, but I think this is better. So this is
I think they're fine.
And that's it actually. We talked about every team, and we spent like 2 hours again. Oops. But we'll put time stamps in there. Let's have a final look, and maybe let's like put top 3. That's probably
I already have mine.
Well, then begin, then I can think about mine.
Not in order, but I think the best 3 teams are definitely Sly, Cyan, and CatsRuleTheDumb.
Okay, interesting choice.
Bash is very, very close. Like very, very close. Like you could replace Bash with Cyan's team, I think. For me at least. I think Cyan barely edges out just because of the momentum, honestly. But you can interchange them, and I think Bash is also like a top 3 team.
I think I'm not sure my third place. I think I'm trying to decide between Bash and Arkhan. Like I like both of these teams, but I'm aware that they are probably not the best teams. Like I'm aware of their weaknesses, but I just like their teams, so I don't want to be gay. So let's pick a third place. Yeah, I think Bash has my... Just because I really like the mons he drafted. So let's put me... I'm very biased towards this team. Let's put this as third place. And then I think you're right that this is probably second place just because of these 6. Like, these are so good on their own. And then this is kind of funny, so this is probably second place. And then I think Sly has the best team. Maybe even, I think I probably said that last season too, or like the last time we did these videos that I may have put Sly at the top again, but I just think he drafts really well, and this again is just a really sick team. Yeah, that's my number 1. Anything else to say?
Just a reminder, again, this is our opinion. If we said something about your team they didn't like, or we didn't put your team on the top, any criticism, we do it to try help you improve your team. So yeah, don't take anything personally.
Yeah, don't be too sad. We're just nothing personal, kid.
We're both pretty bad at the game anyway, so.
Yeah, and then we're going to put timestamps, and we're going to go over the other divisions too, but not now because it's too late and I'm getting tired and can't speak anymore. So we're going to do, I guess, next up is spring, and then winter, and then autumn. Yeah, and let's try to put these out like maybe 2 tomorrow, and then the last one, yeah, the day after that. We're gonna try to. Actually, it's Sunday, so you probably won't have time for that.
Yeah, no.
So
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. See you till someday or sometime. It's yeah. Bye.